All right, so this section that we are doing, this chapter is mostly about unions and wages. Wages, of course, are the amount of money that a person is paid. Some jobs people get paid by the hour. Every job I've ever had before this one, I got an hourly wage. They gave me X amount of money per hour I worked. My job now is salaried, where I get a certain amount of money for my work, and that I have a minimum amount of hours that I have to be at work. But then if I stay after, if I do extra work, if I'm doing other stuff, I'm grading on the weekend, doesn't matter. I still get paid the same. I don't get extra money for doing hours outside of my work. Where if I was a waiter, which I was in college, or a bartender, if I had to stay after to do something work related, I would be on the clock, right? So there's hourly wages and there's salaried wages. And generally speaking, we say that there are different categories of labor. Okay, I have them listed here. Unskilled labor, right? These are people who do jobs that don't require any training. Sweeping, right? Very, very minimum wage type jobs. I don't know. And I keep coming back to cleaning as being one, as a very clear unskilled labor job. And then there's semi-skilled labor jobs. And this would be like if you work at McDonald's, but you work the cash register, right? So you got to be able to do math. You got to be able to read. In an unskilled labor job, you don't have to be able to read. Maybe unskilled labor would be something like farming, like picking fruit, right? Unskilled. You don't need to be able to read. You don't need to have ever gone to school to be able to pick fruit or to dig. I had a buddy my buddy Asa, who I talk about often. He had that AC business. When I first met him, when we were teenagers, late teens, he was digging pools for a living. He's a little older than me. I hope you watch this one day, Asa, old man. 4 months. And that's unskilled labor, right? You don't need to go to school or learn any skill to be able to dig. You just got to dig, right? Or lifting up things. My cousin at one point had a job where he was carrying, bags of stuff, up a hill and come back down and carry another bag. And these are unskilled labor jobs. You got to be strong, though. And then you have semi-skilled, which is like you got to be able to read, you got to be able to do math, right? If you go to a restaurant or McDonald's, right? The girl who's putting in those orders has to be able to read the little things on the menu, or maybe you have to be able to do a real basic level of math to be able to input and get change, right? So like, here's a 20, your bill is $18, 35 cents. You got to be able to go, oh, it's $1.65. Oftentimes, though, they just type in the 20, change comes up. Anyway, semi-skilled means you don't have a lot of skill. You just have a basic level of skill, things like reading and low level of math. Skilled labor has to do with, this is now, you went to school, right? My buddy Asa is a skilled AC guy. I don't know how to work on an AC, right? This is a skill. He went to school for it. Oftentimes, skilled labor jobs are the kind of jobs that you train for at West Valley CC, at West Valley Community College. And I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna pause that conversation for a second to put in an advertisement for West Valley CC. By the way, I am not getting paid for this, but what a great place, so close to us, right down there, right near Pierce. And my buddy Robert learned how to work on cars at West Valley CC. I remember I went to college, he went to West Valley CC to try and learn how to work on cars. And after he graduated, which was like a short program, he got a job working on cars. And over the years, this is what he has turned into his career, right? He started off low level, right, doing oil changes or basic maintenance. And now he can do anything. He can rebuild an engine. He's a mechanic. AC, I have a buddy named Joey who once was a woodworker, a cabinet maker. He learned cabinet making skills at West Valley CC. I'll bring the cord in a sec. Hey, Sarah, you're on TV. So all of these kind of jobs are skilled labor jobs, jobs that you probably have to go to school to learn how to do. Plumbers, I got a buddy who's a plumber. He makes way more money than me. And he learned how to do it at West Valley CC. Electricians, oh my gosh, do electricians make a bunch of money? I think that we're talking like $100 an hour, it's a really high rate. Solar panel work, all of these kind of things are skilled labor jobs, and these people get paid very well. And then there's professional jobs. Now look, professional jobs mean you have to have a professional degree. Okay, so you have to go on to college, and then you have to go on past your 4-year degree and get a professional degree. Okay, I have a professional degree. I have credentials. My wife has a professional degree. She's an occupational therapist. My cousins who are engineers, professional degrees, right? And I think unemployment is like 1.5. Both my daughters are on camera in this lecture.
Hey,
No.
can I open the package?
Yes.
The pack both?
Sure.
Thanks.
Professional doctors, lawyers, dentists, these are professional degrees. These, I think, like I said, unemployment is like 1 point something percent if you have a professional degree. If you're looking for a solid career path, go to college, go on and get your master's and get a professional degree, and the chances are you'll always have work. So each one of these categories, though, has their own kind of pay scale. So labor, unskilled labor probably makes, within a certain range. And then semi-skilled labor makes within another range. I don't know what it is. Unskilled labor is probably close to minimum wage, 15, 20 bucks an hour. And then you're semi-skilled, maybe we're talking a little more, 15 to 25 or something, or 20 to 25, but then you get into skilled labor, and these people, like I said, 50 to 100 bucks an hour. And the professional degrees are usually salaried workers, but they're probably also, I am a very low paid professional degree. Teachers are like the lowest paid of all professional degrees. But some of these people are making hundreds of dollars. I went to a lawyer at one point. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I had to pay 350 bucks an hour. $350 an hour. If you're into it, be a lawyer. Wages can also be negotiated by unions. This is another way that wages can be determined. There's very strong evidence to suggest that if you are in a union, you're probably making more than if you're not in a union. And if there's a union in your field of work, then your entire field of work is probably making more to compete with the union wage rates than other jobs. Look, I mean, think about Ralph's, right? If you work at Ralph's, you make pretty good money. Look, my mom works at Trader Joe's, but she makes over 20 bucks an hour. And the reason is they're non-union, but Ralph's is union. So Ralph's has brought the entire pay scale for grocery store workers up because their union have negotiated certain wages, and then to compete with those people, the non-unions like Trader Joe's have to go off and pay a little more, offer benefits, this kind of thing. So yeah, wages can be negotiated by unions. And then there's this idea called signaling theory, which suggests that the more degrees a person has, the higher they should be getting paid. I think that's true in teaching. I think that if you have like multiple masters or something, you get like more. I do not, so I don't know. But yeah, there is something about that. Like if you have my brother, he works in studios, and when he got his college degree, he started getting paid more. So how do you figure out, how much you deserve as a worker? And this is one way we can look at it, looking at the different categories, understanding that each category has its own kind of range of what you should get paid. And then also understanding that if you or anyone in your field is part of a union, or if you have multiple degrees, that also will impact your salary